And so he threw this hat, and I just was standing there. All of a sudden, he came up, and I reached and grabbed for it. And so this went from his hands to my hands. This hat. So when it was happening, I thought at first it was being staged or something. Okay, so I'm there. I see the shooting that happened, and I begin to ask myself some questions. That right in the very moment that it happened, the first thing that came to my mind is somebody let off the firecracker. Although I was looking at him when he was shot, and then I looked down to the audience to see. I was thinking, is this staged? Is this some kind of act? And the reason why I thought that is because the speaker or the guy that was asking a question was on guns. And I thought how that was kind of interesting. This guy's talking about guns. Then all of a sudden, he's shot with a gun. And so I'm thinking, no, this is probably staged. Maybe they're going to do something really quick. But nothing happened. And then I looked down at the audience, and everybody kind of, grabbed the floor. And I began to thinking, well, wait a minute. I didn't really grab the floor totally. I did a little bit, but I kind of looked around because I was thinking to myself, if there's a shooter out there and he actually pulls out his handgun and shoots it, maybe there's some people that saw it and were pounding on him. But I looked in the audience, and I looked and looked and looked, and nothing's going on. And things are happening so fast, it seemed like it was like several seconds where people just went down and nothing. And then people started getting up, and then it was becoming a lot of commotion, and then people are kind of coming towards my direction.
Okay, so here's the audience.
So I was probably about right in here. I was close enough that from his hands to my hands, this hat. So I was able to just grab it. So that's how close I were. How far can you throw a hat? When you watch the video, it looks like it's quite a ways, but when you're there, it's not that far. So. Right. So I was pretty close. So at the time that I heard that I was watching it, and I'm looking at the audience, trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm looking to see if anyone was, holding down the shooter. And the reason why I was looking down is because the sound came from below me. It came upwards.
Okay, so you're over here, and you were thinking that the sound came down. Like, point to where you think.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the sound came from right over here. We'll see.
Here.
Yeah, that came from below me. I'm kind of up here. The sound came from there.
So it came a little bit to your right.
Yeah.
Like maybe down in this section here. That's where you heard the sound come from.
Yeah, that's where I heard the sound.
So you were looking to see if the shooter was going to be attacked.
Oh yeah, I was looking to see if the shooter was going to be attacked.
And you were looking over in this area here because you figured there was a guy here that did the shooting.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And so when everybody dropped down, I looked around, and then people started coming up, and then people started coming towards me, and so I went out.
So all these people here were coming up. Were they were trying to get out?
Yeah, some people were going this way, but I was right here, and people were kind of pushing this way to go out the back way. And the reason why is because if there's a shooter, that would be the safest place, because if he's going to shoot.
Oh, you want to get out the.
So you want to get out the back entrance
because there's another exit over there.
Yeah,
right?
there's an exit over here.
Is this a basement?
No, that's just the backstage. That's just it's flat back there.
What are these? Are these cars?
Yeah, these are cars parked there.
Is it an underground parking?
No, it's not underground. It just goes to the other side of this wall. Okay. It's like a flat surface of building.
So this is like 1 story, 2 story.
Yeah.
First story, second floor, and the third story where these guys are on top.
Yeah, and this just goes straight. So you just go out there, you go into the back, and you're out there, and there's a pond back there and grass.
How did Charlie Kirk come in? Did he come in through this way?
I don't remember. I think he came in from over on that side.
From over on this side.
Yeah, came over from on this side, and he had hats, and people were cheering, and he started throwing out the hats and everything.
So what time did the event start?
Yeah, it was supposed to start at 12, but I think it was probably about 12:05, 12:10 by the time he got up here and sat in his chair.
That was about what time again?
I'd say about 12:10. So I was over here, and then I went over here and went out right here. So I was somewhere right in here. And then it was pretty easy to go over there and to go out the back there. And a lot of people were going out the back there. So when I was out the back there, I just kind of looked around, and there weren't very many police. I was thinking maybe, where's the ambulance or the police that took Charlie away? But apparently they had moved him by then. They were pretty quick. And so I turned and looked, and I saw this guy being arrested. And I go, wait a minute. I know that guy. That's George Zinn. You know, and he didn't do it. I already know he didn't do it. I knew he's kind of lonely, Ben. He's
Really?
broke, doesn't have any money. He's kind of out of it, but, you know, and he professes to be LDS, goes to church, where, you know, he's highly active, I think. And so I'm thinking that didn't do him. So I got kind of close, and I was looking to see if I could see if they had a gun. No gun, nothing of that went on. And then they escorted him over to where the police car and put him in the police car.
And this is way back over here?
This is way back behind this.
Lot?
Yeah, kind of a parking lot there, yeah. So then I got to thinking, so when I left
but at this point, were police and people saying, get out quick? Were they escorting people out, or was it just kind of
No, there was no police escorting anybody. People were just doing that on their own.
Did you see very many police as security?
No, there was no, the only police I saw were the ones that were arresting George, but it looked like there was one wearing a uniform and two different clothing of uniforms. They had a gun.
So plain clothes.
Yeah, plain clothes police officers. And then the other people that were running around in the back just looked like that they were security for UVU. So I didn't see any police.
When you came to this event, was there a checkpoint?
No. When I came to the event, I was told that before you come to the event that you need to get a ticket. So I got online, got a ticket. So I was expecting that they were going to check it. When I got there, nothing. They didn't check nothing. It was just open. You go through a building, and then you're out there in the plaza, and it was just really
so
free.
Metal detector,
no metal detectors,
no
scanning, no petty checking, no police presence, nothing.
Did you see any police anywhere?
I didn't see any police anywhere.
But you saw some UVU security?
Only when I was in the back.
Only
That's
when
the only time. Yeah.
After the incident?
Yeah, after the incident. Yeah, they was just open.
Otherwise,
nothing.
you didn't see anything?
No, I didn't see anything at all.
Did you see any security with Charlie?
No. Well, yeah, there was, some people dressed in black shirt, and you think they're like his bodyguards, maybe one or two or three, but that's it. So it didn't look like, he had any.
Low key. Casual.
Oh yeah, really low key. It was very relaxed, and you thought, and everyone, the audience really loved Charlie. He comes out and says a few words, and when he was throwing the hats up, people were cheering, and they really liked him, and so yeah. And so then I got to thinking, after it all happened, I went home and watched some videos of it, and I got to thinking, wait a minute. I know the sound of the gun came from.
Okay, so you have a theory.
Yeah, I have a theory.
Okay,
this is my theory.
Let's
So I know that the sound of the gun came from below me.
Okay, so you're up here.
And I'm up there and I'm looking down and it came from below me. And I'm thinking, it didn't come from up above. It didn't come from my level. It came from below me.
So go ahead and point this out. It didn't come from.
So it didn't come from anywhere up here because the sound would have come down. The sound came up to my ears. So I was looking, when I watch a couple of videos and pictures.
So you don't think you were hearing reflection. You think you were hearing direct sound.
Yeah, direct sound, yeah.
Because there's nothing down here to reflect the gunshot.
Yeah, it just went out like that. You could feel that it came up.
Because, so otherwise, there's all this flat area for the sound to reflect off of. You would have heard the sound from to your left.
Yeah, if it would have been up here, I would have felt the sound come down.
But if it had been over here and reflected off the building,
you would have known it. But it came specifically below me.
So you think it came from down here?
Oh yeah. So I'm thinking it came below me. So
did other people kind of feel the same way? Do you think?
I think so. People that were in my area, I'm pretty sure they felt the same. But just in my own feeling, I felt it come upwards. So I got to thinking, where do you have to be to make this precise shot? And so I got to thinking where he was and anything that would line up for that. If it was going to be on the roof or the balcony, they're not going to see his head because he's got a canopy over him.
Now there was
this canopy.
Yeah. Well, I remember there was one camera that was down here, and it showed, and I think you could see the top of the building over here.
Yeah.
It was like
now you got to understand something that camera's right here, and his head is up higher, and that can be a lot. That can make a lot of difference. Yeah, that can be a lot of difference.
So you don't think from his vantage point he could actually see the roof of the building?
No, from his vantage point he couldn't see the building. And so when you watch different angles of it, he looks like he got shot almost eye level. Something that was almost eye level, not higher, because it's not going to be too high. So I got to thinking, what kind of sophisticated technology would we got? Is it possible that they could develop a something that can fire a bullet that can be controlled, remote control, and that they could actually maybe put it in the back of a speaker? So, because I'm thinking the speakers that were there where Charlie is, they're in the direct line of fire, and it's below me. When I heard the gunfire, it sounded like that's the area that it came from, and I'm thinking, Is it possible that whoever did this invented something they could put in the back of the speaker that you can control the shot of the bullet, remote control, and then design the speaker so that the hole looks like that's where a speaker jack or something goes in there, and put a mechanism in the back of the speaker that could fire a bullet? So they put a mechanism in the back of the speaker that could fire a bullet that can be controlled remotely.
So let's just take a look at the speaker system. Where are these speakers placed? Why don't you just take that?
Okay, yeah. It's this speaker right here that shot Charlie in this direction and made him go this way, out the back or the side of the speaker. And it would be perfect. Perfect.
He was sitting on this chair here.
I can't see. Yeah, he's sitting right here, and it would be perfect because he's sitting up here, his head's above it, and boom.
So is this the only sound system they had for this whole event?
Yeah, they had a speaker here, a speaker here, and I think a speaker here, but it seems like there was a smaller speaker down here or something. But
so they didn't have any other sound in this whole thing, just those two little speakers?
Yeah, that's it. Another sound.
And you could hear it okay?
Yeah, it was okay.
Now, when these speakers were projecting sound, did you hear it reflect off of any building at all?
No, but when the guy that was asking the question, you couldn't hear him too well, but when Charlie would speak, you could hear it really well. It's almost like they had two different sound systems.
Did you hear any echoing from the speakers here?
No. You know what, I'm thinking just now, why would the guy that's asking the question, why did his voice come out different speakers? Because it sounded totally different. But when Charlie spoke, you could tell it came out a better sound system.
So both guys that asked questions, their volume was low?
I don't know. No, not yet. The volume was low, but it sounded different, like it wasn't tweaked right. Like it was tingy. Yeah. Everyone that's asking the question.
So the microphone that they had for the people asking the questions, where was that microphone positioned?
Yeah, I think the microphone was like down here somewhere.
It was directly in front, right?
Yeah, directly in front of him.
Maybe they were trying not to get feedback and they didn't want to.
Oh, they got feedback.
Oh, they got feedback.
Oh, yeah, they got feedback
from
with it.
those microphones. So they were trying to figure out. So I'm wondering if they hired the sound out.
Hired the sound out. Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe, yeah.
If they could find out who. Well, we don't want to implicate anyone that's doing the sound like this. It's just like there's a theory.
Well, they need to check, just like they need to check everybody. They need to check the sound system. They need to check everything to put up. And the big question is going to ask: is the sound system going to be there tomorrow? Has they already got the permission to just take down the sound system?
Yeah,
and everything?
I'm wondering. I'm thinking that this sound system would be confiscated from whoever owns it, whether it's UVU, whatever, because it'd be under investigation.
Right.
So that'd be interesting to find out. It'd be like, okay, who did sound for Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, exactly. And then examine the speakers, tear them apart, because the speakers are going to look like they're okay. And like that military guy told me, he says, when you shoot in a bowl like that, sometimes it can be very difficult to tell where it came from. Well, but I didn't ask him. I says, what about if you're above it? Because I heard it come from below me.
The only thing about a bowl is the acoustics change completely when you fill it with people. They all have clothes on, and all that stuff is absorbent to those certain frequencies. The bottom end will kind of penetrate, but when you have their clothes and different things like that to reflect off of, there's a lot of absorption of sound and diffusion of sound. This is like a huge sound diffuser. So I don't think you can look at this like a bowl. You can look at this like maybe a bowl-shaped sound diffuser.
Yeah.
Because
maybe.
I think that sound is diffused in all of this. So I think you're going to have...
But you still got the concrete here, and you got the concrete at the top. And so maybe all the people absorbed it. If it's shot right there, the people absorbed it, but up above, it's going to sound a little different maybe.
So if the sound's coming this way or it hits a building, and this sound hits you first, and this sound hits a little bit later, you're going to hear ga-ga, a little bit of an
echo. Yeah, no echo.
No echo.
And if me being here, I would have felt it came from my right side. I would have felt it.
Yeah, you would have kind of heard something from elsewhere.
Yeah, it wouldn't give me the strong impression that it came from below.
So this was kind of doing a good job absorbing sound.
Yeah, so there wasn't a lot of echo. It really sounded like it just came from below me. Boom.
Interesting. So were you hearing any other sound that was further out over here?
No.
I mean, like cars going by? Was
no,
there
there's no traffic, no nothing.
Is there a
plaza.
building? Is there a building?
There's a building kind of all the way around to about like this. There's a building here, then over here, then maybe a building over here. So it's kind of a circle and going down. And then the circle goes up and it's flat, and then there's buildings.
Okay, so you didn't hear any ricochet?
No
from the
ricochet.
sound. There's another thing to consider.
What?
The microphone picking up the sound of the gun. So if the speaker fired a shot, it would have been picked up in this microphone and come out those speakers as well. Because it was loud enough to be picked up by the
I'm
microphone.
sure it was, yeah.
So maybe that also affected it as well.